Welcome back to Sportsman's Junction. It's been a while since we've done a video, myself in particular. I've been away from it. I think all the guys, we've kind of taken a step back the last few months and really tried to, reevaluate how we want to continue moving forward with this website and this YouTube channel and everything. And with whitetail deer season about to open up here in Texas, it's as good a time as any to kind of just like jump back into it. So before we get into the meat of the video, if you guys could like the video, subscribe to the channel, it would be a big help for us. I'm going to try to do better about asking for the like and subscription thing, but I kind of always forget. But anyway, so we've got whitetail deer archery season getting ready to open up here in Texas in just a few days. So with that in mind, every year I take some of the time before the season to go through my gear, make sure everything's still in working order, change out batteries, sharpen knives, whatever. And I wanted to do that today, but since I'm also exactly a month away from when our group heads up for Colorado's second rifle season elk hunting, I'm gonna get some of that gear ready as well, and just kind of wanted to show you guys how I prepare my stuff, how I pack it, how I prepare for two completely different types of hunting without having gear and gear containers and stuff dedicated to each one. I hope at some point I can have a box for elk camp, and I can have a box for deer camp and a box for turkey camp or whatever, and not have to go through this process of moving gear back and forth and rearranging. But until then, until I get rich, basically, this is how I do it. So I want to go through that. Maybe you guys pick up some ideas or whatever. Maybe you give me some ideas. If leave me comments if you notice anything I could do differently that would make things more efficient. And then I also wanted to show off some of the little gear and gadgets and stuff that I've found over the years that really makes a difference when you're out in the field, whether it be in the backcountry or in South Texas in the brush, or down in the marsh or whatever. It's been really cool here in the mornings lately, in the 60s, but it warms up quickly. It gets up into the 90s during the day here in San Antonio, so hopefully that thing doesn't have to run too much, and if it does, hopefully it's not too loud in the microphone, or I'm gonna have to redo all of this. But yeah, let's just jump into it. So I'm going to start with some of the little things that I picked up this off season in anticipation of elk camp. First one of those, Mitchell pointed that out to me, or suggested this to me. This is called Life Bivvy. As you see, it's a really small package. It's about the same size as my coffee cup. It's a 12-ounce cup. So just to give you an idea of how big it is, it has a danger whistle, or a emergency whistle attached to it. So what this is it's basically a survival blanket. I can't remember the exact stats, but it's supposed to help you retain like 95% body heat or something like that if you're in like an emergency situation, a dire situation. Now the reason we got it, Mitchell got one, I got one, is because we're thinking that for elk camp this year we're gonna spend probably gonna spend some time spike camping on the mountains where we plan to hunt the following morning. So when we do that, we're going to take our lighter sleeping bags, and this will just kind of like, we're thinking will help insulate our sleeping bags, our smaller, easier to carry sleeping bags, by basically like getting in the bag and then putting this around the bag. So we'll have our down bags, they're rated to 0 degrees or whatever, and then outside of that, if we need it, we'll put this to help retain heat. So that was a Life Bivvy. That was one thing. They're really not that expensive, and I'm going to link most of these newer gadgets in the description of this video when it's all said and done. For the next thing, I mean, this is going to be no stranger to most who camp and hunt. I got a legit jet boil this year. A couple of the guys last year at camp had knockoff versions for you know, doing the morning coffee and stuff. Got the little coffee press, and you know, the knockoff versions, they're fine, I guess. They work in a pinch, but we did have some trouble with them, so I decided to just bite the bullet and go ahead and get one of my own this year. One of the name brand, you know, one of the most respected brands in the game for camp stove, coffee maker type things. So that's just the Jet Boil Flash, I believe, is the one I picked up. Next little deal I got, I didn't really necessarily need this, but I liked the compactness of it. I like that it's magnetic, so you don't have to use a little drawstring. But this is just a light. It's dimmable. It gets brighter. It also has a blue light setting for, like, if you wake up in the middle of the night, or you know, when you get up first thing in the morning, if you're the first one up at camp, you can use the blue light setting to so that you don't wake up your fellow campers, right? And then it is rechargeable. It has a micro USB charger in this little battery pack, but also if you wanted to, or if you lost the battery pack, it accepts 3 AAA batteries, which is pretty cool. I got this one off of Camo Fire. The next thing I picked up in the off season, I already mentioned. I got it's a Bog Adrenaline Tripod. I haven't practiced with it yet, but I'm really pleased with. It's pretty sturdy for the price. I like that it has the clamp legs and not the kind that screw on, because those screw on ones, you get a little dirt in them. You know, they can be really troublesome. It spreads out pretty wide, so you can get it fairly low to the ground if you need to. It also extends to, like, kind of a ridiculous height. Like, I'm 6'1", and I'm pretty sure that this extends to a height taller than what I could use. Which at that point, like, you lose a lot of stability, but I guess it is nice to have that flexibility if you needed it. You know, if you were a giant like, I don't know, Michael Gomez. But one of the reasons I got this tripod, other than that I hated my mono I used last year, is that it has this quick release top on it. So I can take my shooting Y out of there. You know, if we get to a spot where we're just going to be glassing for a while, and I can pop this sucker on there, and this is a rest for my binos. So just help me keep a little bit more steady when I'm using my binos. It gives me free rein on the horizontal, the x-axis, but it's not giving me any play vertically, which I think some people probably wouldn't really care for. But I don't anticipate we're gonna do a ton of static glassing, and I really just, like, don't mind for the price of what I paid for the tripod plus this, and then this came with the tripod. I really think it's worth it, because, you know, if I was to add on something with y-axis flexibility, I'd have to have spent quite a bit more money than what I did, and I'm really happy with this. I think I paid about $90 for the tripod, and that came with the shooting rest, and then see how easy that is. $90 for the tripod with the shooting rest, and then the Bino deal is about $50, but I had a Bass Pro gift card for that amount, so it ended up costing me like $9 after shipping. Other than those little gadgets, the main... Oh, that's not true. I did pick up, let me grab it, and I guess necessary safety plug. I picked up a first aid kit for camp this year. I didn't have one last year. This is just like a 50-piece kit. I got it off of Amazon, and It's got everything you could think of, from like Advil and, you know, like ointments. It's got safety pins, bandages, scissors, gauze. There's a little survival bracelet. There's supposed to be I haven't like pulled it out all the way. There's light sticks, but there's supposed to be, there's a little flashlight. There's a little pocket knife in here. Now I'm going to alter this. I'm going to add some things of my own, but I just wanted to make sure this year that we would have one, like a legit first aid kit at camp, just in case we needed it. I think last year we had this, mostly had the stuff, you know, if something bad had happened, but we could have been lacking. Luckily, we didn't have to find out the hard way. So last really new thing I got is the backpack that I kind of mentioned. So this pack, the main reason I carry that other pack for whitetail hunting is to carry my camera gear. I've got the camera I'm shooting on right now. It's a Nikon Z6, and I normally have a wide angle lens on that, and then I also have a Nikon D500 that I use for photography, and on that I have a big 150 millimeter to 600 millimeter telephoto lens. So that's like, I mean, that's a pretty big lens. I'll show you, so you have if you're not a camera guy or a camera person, you'll have a better like sense of how much stuff that is to carry around. So I would carry those with me to the blind, in addition to the tripod that I'm using right now, and in addition to like water and, you know, maybe pocket knives, like extra knives or whatever. But I picked up this Alps Outdoors bag, and it's actually the Alps Outdoors game camera bag is what they market it as and how they intend to sell it. It's got a small accessory pocket here on the front, and I really like this bag, but the one thing that I don't like, and like extremely don't like, is the zippers are kind of cheap, and it's pretty irritating because I really like Alps, but these zippers suck. So a little accessory pocket with plenty of pouches, you know, a little mesh pouch, that kind of stuff, just for small things. And then see these freaking zippers, the worst. Alps, if you guys watch this video, make a version of this bag with better zippers. I would gladly pay whatever you charge for it, because this bag is awesome. Inside the main pouch, there's a bunch of memory card slots here. This is because this was, you know, intended, I guess in their minds, for game cameras. And then these are Velcro separators. There was a bunch of them to, you know, make space for 8 cameras or whatever, 8 game cams. So I just decided like I would adjust it for my needs. So I've got the telephoto lens and my lens hood, or whatever you call the thing that goes on the end, I can't remember. I've got my D500, I've got my other telephoto lens, 70 to 300 lens. Typically have a charger here. I've got some, you know, charger cables, USB cables, all that kind of stuff. Here's an extra charger, and then here is where I would put the Z6, the one I'm filming on right now. So as you can see, this just makes staying organized a lot easier. It's a more sturdy backpack. It has a little bit more shape to it. And then in addition to that, I've got these straps on the side so I can collapse my tripod all the way down, stick the feet in this pocket, and then use this to strap it around and secure it to the pack. So it's just one less thing to carry separately. And I've also got the flexibility on this side to do that as well. And then the final thing is they built in a little tablet pouch or iPad pouch or whatever. So really excited about this pack. I've already used it. I was out at the ranch last weekend and decided to go sit in the pop-up blind and take photos and stuff, and I took this pack with me for the first time, and it's made a huge difference compared to what I was doing last year. Okay, took a little pause there, checked my work emails and stuff, and I got a got some of this out so I didn't have to waste video time doing it. This is my Yeti Go Box. It's pretty much my hunting gear, my main hunting gear storage case. So it's mostly still set up from elk camp last year, but go ahead and open her up here and see what kind of shape it's in. So the cool thing about the Go Box, you have this removable little caddy. In here I pretty much keep not pocket knives, but like knives I use for skinning, cleaning animals, some essentials, matches, keep plenty of Carmex, because I feel like especially when you're out there on the mountain, you're always getting chapped lips and that kind of thing. And then hand sanitizer. I know it technically doesn't last forever, but it's mostly alcohol, so it's better than nothing in a pinch. Multi-tool, and keep a few a little mini sharpener, a few Zeiss wipes for my camera gear, and some earplugs. That's it. And then once that's out, you've got two sections here. I've kind of got this broke up into, like, this side is like extra first aid stuff, camp necessities, wipes, salt and pepper, a bag of coffee just in case. There's some extra bandages and things like that. My main flashlight I keep on this side because I don't have to pull the caddy out to get to it. We got some shot cups. I think that's from turkey season. And then I guess I used this patio ranch buff during turkey season and never put it back in the proper place. So yeah, this left side, it's essentials, from first aid to kitchen related things. And then the right side, for me, I keep my game calls. In this case, it's turkey calls, my hand warmers. I've got a bunch of plastic utensils for camp. Some of my bigger knives. There's an emergency poncho, and then a little handsaw it's like a tiny bone saw, but if you needed to cut through some tendon or something that you couldn't get through with your knife, then that saw comes in handy. Next, in the pack, I keep, we've got this little zipper part up here with this mesh pouch. So here I've got some Velcro zip ties. These are super handy to have. I also have a bunch of mini bungees in the truck I need to put in here as well now that I'm done using them out at the ranch. I've got my personal little set of camp silverware. Bungees back. This is just a little fork, knife, and spoon set. Got it at Academy. It's got a little tie to keep them together when you're not using them. And then just a little wooden spoon for, if it's my turn to cook, or if we're short kitchen utensils or whatever, use that, on the stove, camp stove or whatever. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then the extra zipper pocket, this is a little bit more like first aid related things. I always try to keep children's Benadryl available, just in case somebody were to get snake bit. This isn't gonna, it's not gonna counteract the venom or anything like that, but it is gonna help buy you time to get to a hospital. So that's the main thing. It fights it's an antihistamine, so it fights the inflammation and that kind of stuff. And then this is just a little tiny travel med kit. I actually don't even remember what's in it. Looks like there's upset stomach medicine, there's pain meds, there's a blister kit, there's some bandages, a couple of wet towelettes, and safety pins. So that takes care of the the see-through pouch, and then in the big pouch right now, all I've got really is got a wire brush in case I need it, an extra phone charger, and then I've got two stick lighters for fire starting at camp. Now, with all this stuff, now that I've got a new first aid kit, I'm going to end up probably taking most of these bandages, these Curads, and I'm going to find a way to fit all this into the first aid kit that I showed earlier. So that frees up quite a bit of space in my main pocket. Also, this coffee is old, so I'm going to go ahead and toss that. So that gives me some more space to work with. Now that I've got a little bit more room, probably the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lantern back in here. Since this is something at camp I use pretty much every day, the lantern goes on the left side since it's easy to get to. I'm going to put my new mini light in here for now. This will actually probably end up going with me if we spike camp, but until that happens, it's also going to be super useful at our base camp. Go ahead and stick the life bivvy in here for now. And then what else do we have? Top of the life bivvy, I think I'm going to go with, probably going to go ahead and just put the, move some stuff around, Jetboil in here. Got the Jetboil coffee press as well. So this is like the base, in my mind, covers most of the essentials that I would need at deer camp or elk camp. Obviously, deer camp, for me, hunting at the ranch most of the time, or at Sycamore Creek Ranch, there's, you know, the house, the main house, the hunting lodge is there, so I don't have as much need for the camping stuff. As far as the wipes and having extra seasonings and things like that, but this side typically I just keep intact, because it's just like easier to do it that way. And sometimes even when I'm at the ranch at the main house, I find myself like pulling things out of here to use just because it's more convenient. And then the Go Box also comes with, I'm not going to pull this out all the way because I don't want to undo my organization, but this black part is a divider that removes, and it also functions as a cutting board. And we used that last year at elk camp. It was super, super handy. Okay, one thing I forgot to put in the box was my boot gaiters for elk camp. These are Scree Solace Camo. I really like the print. I had these last year. I didn't use them, not because I didn't need them, but because the trails, the times that we hiked through the snow, we didn't realize how deep the snow was going to be, and we were already too far from camp to circle back and get them. So this year, for now, I'm going to put them in here underneath the little caddy thing. But for this year, I'm going to make sure and keep these. Probably just going to keep them away. My backpack, my backcountry pack, or whatever, because they sure would have been nice on that day that we trudged several miles through the snow, and it was snow that was a couple feet deep, so it was it got to be pretty challenging. We got pretty tired, and you know, the bottom of our pants and stuff got really wet, so definitely going to keep the Gators close by this time. So in addition to my little Go Box and the little gadgets and stuff that I already showed, obviously that's not all that goes into camp. Right, I've got a clear plastic tote back there that's full of cooking supplies, everything from flexible cutting boards to pots and pans that you can use over an open flame, to a fillet knife set for fishing, but it comes in handy whenever you're out at camp and you need a little bit bigger, more knife with more utility. So that goes with, obviously, we got the Backcountry Pack, which I'll just show real quick. It's a little bloody from last year, but this is the Alps Outdoors, I think it's the Hybrid X or something like that. I'll have to double check. I'll link it though. It's got a main pack detaches, it's got a shelf built into it. It's super handy. This is an excellent day pack in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I've only been elk hunting one time, but considering that we were successful and that that I never had any trouble with the pack or with having the things I needed, I feel confident saying this is a great day pack option. If you try to do it overnight, which I might end up doing this year, it's probably going to be challenging because you don't have quite as much space as you will probably need. But you know, that's just, I mean, that's future lanes. Probably we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then this is actually, I guess I should show this. It is new, technically, new to me. Picked up a new Bino harness this year. This is the Sitka. I can't remember the name of it. I'll link it. You know, I'm obviously not at my computer right now. The Sitka Bino harness. I really liked it because it comes with built-in side pouches. You don't have to pay extra for those like you do with some. There's plenty of room in those side pouches for your license, for your extra gadgets. Put your phone while you're hiking, which is going to be huge for me, because when we're out there, I'm constantly, you know, trying to take pictures and record with my phone and you know, get video to use for reels and stuff. And so just being able to easily get to it is going to be big time. It's got little slots for smaller things. You can put your license or your tags or whatever. It's pretty much the same on this side. And then the main pouch, I like that it closes and it allows you the option to detach, or it opens and allows you the option to detach your binos easily. The one I had before was a Kuiu one, and it worked well, but like the strap that went over your shoulder was only attached to your binos. So where this one, I'll put it on real quick. So you see how this strap is attached here, and then this is attached to the you know, bino holder itself. With the Kuiu one, this strap basically didn't attach here. It only continued down to the binos. So if I wanted to pull out my binos, I would have to unhook the harness or the top cover forward and then pull out my binos that were still attached to the strap. But then as I did that, this strap was no longer supporting this, so it would cause the pouch to sag a little bit. It just wasn't really convenient. You know, it was, in my opinion, not really well thought out. Whereas this one, I still got support here, so that when this is tight and I've got a lot of gear on, it stays up. And then they thought this through in the sense of, you know, these move vertically pretty freely, and then you can always just unsnap it altogether from your binos. And then the last cool thing is that whenever you're using this, the lid here is magnetic, so it will just stay open, which is, it's pretty nice. They really thought through this product, in my opinion. It's probably not the best one on the market, but it definitely beats the Kuiu one, and I feel like Kuiu and Sitka are pretty comparable and they compete against each other a lot. So this is another cool new toy that I got. Really excited about the Bino harness. And then obviously, you know, rifle, ammunition, that kind of thing, take separately in a hard case. Sleeping bags, trying to think what else, sleeping pad to go under your bag on the cot, and that kind of covers the essentials of it. So hopefully, you know, by the time you're watching this video, I've edited it down quite a bit, because I know I've recorded and I've talked a lot, so I'll try to shorten it up, but I'll definitely try to do more of these kinds of things. Try to be more thoughtful about how I do them. I'm kind of doing this off the cuff, you can probably tell, but yeah, let me know what you think. If there's any gear, any gadgets for hunting or fishing or camping or whatever that you use that you really like, you know, leave a comment. I'd love to check them out and try out some new things. And then if you have any questions about any of the things I've shown, or any of the things that maybe you saw and I didn't talk about, or anything like that, definitely reach out to us. I'll do my best to answer those as fast as possible. And then yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna try to do a lot more of this type of stuff. Hopefully we'll get some great hunting content this fall, and then at some point in the spring, I'm gonna redo this whole shop. So if you've ever seen, if you're familiar with Chris B's YouTube channel, they've got a really cool shop there. Got a lot of inspiration from what they did. I'm obviously not as big into archery as he is. That's kind of like his shop is all geared towards archery, but I'm gonna make this shop into more of like a hunting shop and less of like a half-assed workshop, which is basically how I inherited it when I bought the house. So yeah, stay tuned. Appreciate the view, and hey, good luck out there this year to everyone who's hunting, and be safe.